What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here. So, some of you guys might not know this, but February 14th is my birthday, which was yesterday. I was going to do a video yesterday, but I decided against it. Um, so, my family gave me a gift card that I could use anywhere, and I went ahead and went out today, and I got this stuff in front. So, my grandmother got me this. We'll talk about that later. So, actually, we'll go ahead and talk about it now. So, she went to some store. She didn't specify where or what it was, but she got me this Ghostbusters pillow. I think she said it was actually custom made, which is really cool. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the rest of this video. Alright, so starting off with the movie that I went ahead and picked up yesterday, or this morning. I picked up Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I really liked that movie. This movie, I'll link my movie review on it in the description down below. I had a lot of fun with that movie, so I saw it. It was in my budget range, so I went ahead and picked it up. So I'm going to try to see if I can share that with my family. So on to the actual things that I'm sure people want to see. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start off with Black Suit Superman. Now this is supposed to be from the Justice League Snyder cut, which I still have not seen and I refuse to watch because, in my opinion, it does not matter what version of the movie you release, it cannot save what is a bad film. I was so bored with the first Justice League, I don't see why they would do a director's cut for it, but you know what, if people like it, that's fine. I got no problem with the people who like it, so... Anyway, I've always liked the look of black suited Superman. I like the I obviously like the traditional red and blue. But I saw this and I thought it was a really cool thing to add to my collection of action figures and collectibles and stuff like that. So I thought, hey, screw it. It does come with a stand to make him fly, obviously. Basically it. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's basically the Man of Steel suit with black and silver. I will say this: the face mold could be better. It does look like Henry Cavill, but like a cartoony version of Henry Cavill. But that's my only gripe at it. This figure has tons of posability. It has like 7 points of articulation in just the arms. It has like another couple points of articulation. He's got 3 points of articulations in the knees, little bit of foot and ankle rotation, as well as toe movements, which is pretty good. So honestly, I'd give this figure probably, design-wise, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Trying to replicate likeness-wise, I'd give it an 8. Because while it does look like Henry Cavill to a point, I wish they had made it. I mean, they could have easily made it look a little bit more like Henry Cavill. But this is not supposed to be a collectible. This is actually supposed to be a toy. It is supposed to be played with by children, so I can understand why they wouldn't spend that extra money making it look more like Henry Cavill. So in that aspect, I say it's alright. But honestly, I also wish they had given him interchangeable hands. But again, this is supposed to be a toy. It is supposed to be played with. Some people, like myself, will put it on display and never use it for anything else. But as a collector, I would have rather it have interchangeable hands. But that's my only nitpick on it. Okay, now we got Red Hood, which is actually one of my favorite DC characters. Simply just because on his backstory, the whole him growing up as a street punk kid, taking the wheels off the Batmobile, and then have Batman train him, and then the whole Joker storyline thing happening and his resurrection and everything. It's such a dark tone for a character like this, but I absolutely love it. I think this is actually the Three Jokers version of Red Hood. Because I know there's a point in the comic books where there are 3 Jokers. And obviously knowing, Jason Todd's backstory, would make sense to have him be in said comic. Really nice detail on his jacket. Again, tons of articulation in his arms and hands. His wrists don't have as much movement because this is all one piece. It's not two separate pieces like I had thought it was going to be. So he can't really straighten his wrists. Like his wrists are kind of like this. He can't actually really straighten them out, which is okay. He's got some pretty good articulation in his legs. Same thing like Superman. He's got posable toes, rotary ankles and everything else. I love the paint that they used for his helmet. Looks really good. I really like that shade of red. I wish that they had made the jacket brown like it was traditionally. But again, I'm pretty sure that this is the Three Jokers version of Red Hood, and I believe this is actually kind of what he looked like in that particular comic run. So if you open up his jacket, he's got some basic printing or designs and stuff there. He actually has a red hood on his jacket, which is kind of cool. Along with a few other red highlights. Now these I'm not exactly fond of now that I look at them up close, because the red on them does not match the red that's on his hood, because I guess they just didn't use that level of paint, or that same amount of paint to outcover the black, which is okay. Like I said with Superman, this is supposed to be a toy. It is supposed to be played with by children. But like I said, with some people like myself, it is going to be a collector's item. It is going to sit in a cabinet forever and never be used. Now, Red Hood, and I meant to say this was Superman. Red Hood, Superman, and the other two items that we have after this will be appearing in a few videos, but nothing serious. So just keep an eye out for that. Oh, and this version of Red Hood also comes with a crowbar, naturally. But like I said, really nice detail work. Honestly, with this particular version of Red Hood, now I am going to try to get another version of Red Hood at some point. But honestly, with this version, I would say this is honestly probably a 9 out of 10 on detail work. Like I said, I love the helmet. I like the torso design, the jacket design. I like the leg design. My only nitpick with it, again, is those red covers on there. The paint just does not match with the hood. And I would rather have his wrists have more articulated features rather than it just being one solid piece. Otherwise, this would be a 10 out of 10 on both quality and design. Or detail work. So on to the next character. Okay, now I know this is obviously not a character, but I saw it and I got the character I technically got a version of the character that this is supposed to be for. And I absolutely love this design for the Bat-Cycle. I'm not a huge biker person. The only motorcycle I've actually really enjoyed was the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider motorcycle from the first Ghost Rider movie. But honestly, I have to, and this is with utmost honesty, if I ever got a motorcycle or the license to own a motorcycle or whatever, I would pay somebody to customize that motorcycle to look just like this. I absolutely love the bat skeleton that is on this. I am pretty sure this is the death metal Bat-Cycle, which I could not find the death metal Batman for it to go with. But I honestly love this motorcycle. This is such a cool design, and probably now my favorite version of the Bat-Cycle. Because the Bat-Cycle was never one of my favorite rides that Batman uses. But honestly, I absolutely do love this motorcycle. I think if I had to nitpick on anything, I would have liked to see it in black instead of this bone color white. But honestly, it makes sense because it is supposed to be a skeleton, and skeletons are not black. So, in that regard, I can understand what they were going with it. And I absolutely love this motorcycle. If I ever had the chance to own a motorcycle, I would take this to probably like Gotham Garage or something in California and have them just go at it and make this an actual 1-to-1 scale motorcycle. And honestly, I just noticed this. There's actually a bat signal in the front wheel, which I think is kind of cool. This does have the playable feature of the motorcycle's front wheel turn. So if you're a collector or whatever and you have Death Metal Batman or any Batman or any figure that'll fit it, you can basically put it at like a rider angle or whatnot. I'm pretty sure if I ever use this in a video, if I can find the character of Death Metal Batman, I may have Death Metal Batman fight Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider is going to ride this for a brief minute. But this is honestly a beautiful motorcycle, and I absolutely love the design for it. Because there's the skull on the front of it, the rib cage over the engine, and the rear part of the motorcycle is just absolutely cool, and I love it. That's about all I can say. So honestly, 10 out of 10 on this particular item. But if I had to change anything or had the chance to change anything, I would paint it black, because I think it would look way more menacing black. But honestly, this is pretty damn cool as is. So on to the next character. Okay, now I saved this for last because I'm very excited to see the movie. This is Robert Pattinson's Batman from The Batman. And this is hands down, without seeing the movie, my favorite Batsuit. Because just going off the trailers and everything, it is such an awesome looking suit. Very, very durable, very practical. I absolutely enjoy it. And having the figure right in front of me right now, I absolutely love the design for this particular Batsuit. I know there were a lot of people complaining about the neck piece up here and the cowl itself. But honestly, you know, the neck thing kind of looks weird, but I just figured that as extra protection for Batman. And then the cowl is supposed to be bulletproof, so it makes sense why it looks so different compared to all the other versions of Batman. And I absolutely understand why they did what they did. You know, I don't judge a movie based off the costume unless it's Green Lantern. And even then, I didn't judge it off the costume, I judged it off the movie. So, but, you know, again, I'm anxious to see what they do with the movie. You know, a lot of people were pissed because Robert Pattinson was casted for Batman, and everyone always associates him with Twilight. I never watched Twilight because I didn't care. But the only thing I've ever really seen Robert Pattinson in was Harry Potter, and honestly, he crushed that role, even though he was only meant to die. But I'm super excited to see him as Batman, and I honestly think he'll be way better than Christian. He has potential to be way better than Christian Bale, way better than Val Kilmer, way better than George Clooney, which is not hard to beat, and possibly better than Michael Keaton. And that's saying something. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and break this figure down. I really like the cape on this version of Batman. Like I said, you know, he does have a little bit of head movements and stuff. Now, the utility belt's basically just a standard military grade belt, which I like, you know, because it doesn't have all that extra features and everything. I'm sure this is where he's going to store, you know, all of his smoke bombs and stuff like that, which it makes sense. It's more tactical military stuff, very similar to Christian Bale's Batman. But I do love these shoulder pads. The shoulder pads are really, really nice touch. And in fact, when I made my Lego version of this Batman, I actually tried to include as much detail on the arms as possible. Now, I did screw up mine. Mine is all black. This is more of like a gray, gunmetal gray color, which is fine. But this is something that I'm confused on, because these look like that Court of Owls character. I think his name is Talon or some shit like that. These kind of look like that, which is a little weird. But it does have, this version of Batman does have the standard Batman claw thingies on his arms or forearms, and then he also has these talon-looking things on his other arm as well. Just like Red Hood and Superman, this thing has tons of posability because it's made by the same company, so they'd all obviously have the same points of articulation. But just like Superman and just like Red Hood, I wish that they had given this figure interchangeable hands, because you know this hand here is basically meant for the grapple gun, which is cool, but I wish they had given him more of another hand that was similar to this, or just like his left arm. But honestly, you know, it's not bad. It's still a really cool figure, and I'm still going to keep it in my display case. But again, I wish they had had interchangeable hands. This version of Batman does, like I said, does come with a grapple gun. That's why he has his hand out like this. But honestly, it looks more like he's going to do the karate chop type thing. So, you know, maybe at some point I'll do this version of Batman versus the Daniel LaRusso from Cobra Kai that I've got, and see what will happen there. The only problem with that is LaRusso can't exactly stand up by himself, which is a little hard, but I can always fix that if I need to. Real quick, I do actually like the Bat emblem. I've heard a lot of people are giving Robert Pattinson crap about the Bat emblem. If you ask me, the Bat emblem actually, and I'm sure I'm not the only person to say this, the Bat logo actually looks like it is a detachable weapon. And the handles on this weapon looks like the split handle of a handgun, which I'm wondering maybe Batman somehow got the gun that was used to kill Martha and Thomas Wayne, and cut it in half and used it as his Batman logo, specifically for the reason so that way he does not kill. And if that's the case, that's going to make Robert Pattinson's Batman look even more badass than he already does, because I always thought he looked like a badass in the trailers anyway. I love all of the Batman trailers. I honestly can't stop watching them because they're so good and they look so good. But anyway, that's basically it for this version of Batman. I would probably give this particular Batman figure a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I say score it like 9 instead of a 10 out of 10 is because I wish that they had done a little bit more detail work on the actual Bat logo itself. Because it's basically just, the mold is there, kind of, but it's not really painted the way it is in the movie. And again, I can understand why they did that. This is supposed to be a toy. This is supposed to be something that children play with, and I can understand why they did that. And then also the whole no interchangeable hand thing kind of pisses me off as well. But other than that, the detail on this version of Batman is so good. I cannot wait to see Robert Pattinson as Batman. And you know what? Let me know what you all think about that. What do you guys think on Robert Pattinson's Batman? If you are watching this in the future, please don't leave any spoilers in the comment section below. But let me know what you guys think of this. And honestly, now that I think about it, there's something I can actually do, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the video and restart it. Okay, if I already know the Bat Cycle has been revealed in Robert Pattinson's Batman movie, but if something happens to that Bat Cycle, do this. Oh my god, this looks so cool. This looks so cool. And this is not even the correct Batman to use this Bat Cycle. Now, I think the death metal version of Batman, or the death metal Batman that's supposed to go on this Bat Cycle, does not have a cape, and that's why this version of Batman is so hard to put on this motorcycle, and that's why his toes are like bent all the way behind the starters of the motorcycle, because otherwise he just does not stay on the Bat Cycle correctly. And you know, his hand is kind of twisted as well. But honestly, this looks so cool. I am probably going to keep this version of Batman on this Bat Cycle until I get the death metal Batman, provided I can find it. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I absolutely think this is so cool. Again, let me know what you guys think of this, and I will catch you guys all later. Bye.